Homer's The Odyssey, composed between the 8th and 7th centuries BCE, emerges as a monumental epic that encapsulates the socio-political and cultural ethos of ancient Greece, a civilization grappling with the aftermath of the Trojan War. The author, traditionally identified as Homer, remains an enigmatic figure with limited biographical details. Scholars propose various theories regarding his identity, suggesting he may have been a blind bard from the region of Ionia, though the lack of concrete evidence leaves much to speculation. The historical context of the poem is deeply intertwined with the oral tradition of storytelling, where such epics were recited and performed, serving not only as entertainment, but also as vehicles for preserving communal memory and cultural values. The Odyssey is classified as an epic poem, a genre characterized by its grand scope, elevated style, and focus on heroic deeds. This genre is significant in its capacity to explore profound themes of human experience, such as heroism, loyalty, and the quest for identity. The narrative unfolds in a richly woven tapestry of adventure, divine intervention, and the complexities of human relationships. While it is often viewed as a sequel to the Iliad, the Odyssey diverges in its thematic focus, centering on the protagonist Odysseus's long and arduous journey home to Ithaca, which serves as a metaphor for the broader human search for belonging and purpose. The poem's literary significance lies not only in its aesthetic qualities, its use of meter, simile, and imagery, but also in its exploration of universal themes that resonate across time and culture. The opening of the Odyssey establishes a narrative setup that immediately immerses the reader in the protagonist's plight. Odysseus, the cunning hero, is trapped on the island of Ogygia, held captive by the nymph Calypso, who desires him as her immortal companion. This initial scenario introduces central themes of longing and the struggle for autonomy against external constraints. The invocation of the muse in the opening lines serves as a traditional epic device, grounding the narrative in the oral tradition while highlighting the interplay between fate and free will. Through the lens of Odysseus's experiences, the poem grapples with the tension between human agency and the whims of the gods, particularly as Odysseus yearns for his homeland and family, symbolized by his wife Penelope and son Telemachus. This yearning for home, or nostos, not only propels the plot, but also serves as a poignant reflection on the nature of identity and belonging. What makes the Odyssey particularly compelling to modern readers is its exploration of timeless human experiences, such as the quest for self-discovery, the trials of loyalty, and the complexities of human relationships. In an age marked by rapid change and uncertainty, the themes of perseverance and resilience resonate profoundly. Odysseus's journey, fraught with obstacles and moral dilemmas, mirrors contemporary struggles for purpose and connection in a fragmented world. The character of Penelope, who embodies fidelity and cunning in her own right, offers a strong female perspective that invites discussions around gender roles and agency, making the narrative relevant to modern dialogues about identity and empowerment. Moreover, the intricate interplay between the divine and the mortal in the Odyssey prompts readers to reflect on the nature of fate and the human condition. The gods, while powerful, are portrayed with all their flaws and caprices, which raises questions about the nature of justice and the extent to which individuals can shape their destinies. This tension between divine intervention and human agency invites readers to consider their own lives, the challenges they face, and the choices they make. The rich symbolism found in Odysseus's encounters, from the seductive songs of the sirens to the trials of the Cyclops, serves as a metaphor for the myriad distractions and dangers present in the pursuit of one's goals. In conclusion, the Odyssey stands as a timeless masterpiece that transcends its historical context to speak to the core of human experience. Its intricate narrative structure, profound themes, and richly developed characters offer a lens through which modern readers can explore issues of identity, belonging, and the quest for meaning in an ever-changing world. As the epic unfolds, it invites reflection on the nature of heroism, the complexities of love and loyalty, and the enduring quest for home, making it a vital text for both literary scholars and general readers alike. The enduring relevance of Homer's work lies in its ability to resonate with the human spirit across centuries, continuing to inspire and challenge readers to reflect on their own journeys. The early plot development of the Odyssey intricately weaves together the fates of its characters, establishing a rich tapestry of conflict and longing that propels the narrative forward. The poem opens with a poignant invocation to the Muse, setting the stage for the epic's exploration of Odysseus's long and arduous journey home. This invocation not only highlights the theme of memory central to the text, but also frames Odysseus as a quintessential hero, whose trials and tribulations evoke both sympathy and admiration. The opening lines reveal the plight of Odysseus, who is trapped on the island of Ogygia, held captive by the nymph Calypso. The description of Ogygia, depicted as a sea-girt isle, where the goddess hath her habitation, underscores the duality of beauty and entrapment that characterizes Odysseus's situation. His longing for Ithaca, his home, which he yearns to see again, serves as a poignant reminder of the human desire for belonging and the pain of separation. The introduction of Telemachus, Odysseus's son, further complicates the narrative landscape. Telemachus is portrayed as a young man caught in the shadow of his father's legacy, grappling with the uncertainty of his father's fate and the chaos that ensues in his absence. The suitors, who have overrun Odysseus's household, symbolize a usurpation of not only his property but also his identity. The opening books juxtapose Telemachus's internal conflict with the external chaos wrought by the suitors, establishing a dual narrative that reflects the broader themes of loss and the quest for identity. Telemachus's journey to seek news of his father is indicative of his coming of age, as he transitions from passive victimhood to active agency. The call to adventure, initiated by Athena, who encourages him to seek out Nestor and Menelaus, marks a pivotal moment in his development and sets in motion the events that will ultimately intertwine with his father's return. The conflict in the Odyssey is multidimensional, encompassing familial, social, and existential struggles. At the heart of the story lies the tension between the desire for homecoming and the harsh realities of the world. Odysseus's trials at the hands of divine and mortal adversaries serve as metaphors for the complexity of human experience. For instance, his encounters with mythical creatures such as the Cyclops Polyphemus and the sorceress Circe illustrate the unpredictable nature of his journey and the constant threat of distraction from his ultimate goal. The invocation of the gods, particularly Athena and Poseidon, further emphasizes the interplay between fate and free will. Athena's support for Odysseus contrasts sharply with Poseidon's wrath, which complicates the hero's path home and underscores the theme of divine intervention in human affairs. The character of Calypso is particularly significant in this early development, embodying the themes of temptation and the struggle against forgetfulness. Her enchantment of Odysseus represents a seductive force that threatens to derail his quest for home. While she offers him immortality and comfort, Odysseus's yearning for Ithaca symbolizes the enduring human connection to place and identity. His internal conflict, caught between the allure of Calypso's love and his desire for home, serves as a microcosm of the broader existential struggle faced by all individuals. This tension is poignantly expressed in Odysseus's lamentation, where he wishes for death rather than a life devoid of purpose or connection to his homeland. Moreover, the narrative structure of the Odyssey plays a crucial role in establishing its conflicts. The non-linear storytelling, characterized by flashbacks and foreshadowing, enriches the plot and allows for a deeper exploration of the characters' motivations and desires. The division between Odysseus's adventures and Telemachus's journey creates a compelling parallelism that enhances the themes of loyalty and the quest for identity. Each character's quest mirrors the other, as both father and son navigate their respective challenges in a world fraught with uncertainty. As the narrative unfolds, the interplay of the personal and the communal emerges, highlighting the significance of kinship and social bonds. The struggles faced by Odysseus and Telemachus are not only individual, but also reflective of the larger societal dynamics at play. The suitor's presence in Ithaca represents a breakdown of social order, and the eventual reclamation of the household signifies a restoration of harmony and justice within the community. This restoration is not merely a personal victory for Odysseus, but a reaffirmation of the values of loyalty, honor, and homecoming that resonate throughout the epic. In conclusion, the early plot development of the Odyssey intricately weaves together the experiences of Odysseus and Telemachus, establishing a rich tapestry of conflict that speaks to the fundamental human experience. Through the introduction of complex characters and the exploration of profound themes, Homer crafts a narrative that transcends time, inviting readers to reflect on their own journeys, the nature of home, and the relentless pursuit of identity amidst adversity. The epic's enduring relevance lies in its ability to capture the essence of the human spirit, making it a timeless exploration of longing, loyalty, and the quest for belonging. At the outset of the Odyssey, the intricate tapestry of plot development begins to unfurl as Homer introduces the primary characters and delineates the central conflicts that will propel the narrative. The poem opens with a call to the muse, invoking divine inspiration to recount the trials of Odysseus, an archetypal hero whose journey epitomizes the human struggle against adversity. This invocation not only sets the epic's tone, but also establishes a thematic framework that intertwines fate, suffering, and resilience. Telemachus, the son of Odysseus, emerges as a pivotal character early in the narrative. His introduction is marked by a palpable sense of loss and longing, as he grapples with the absence of his father, who has been missing since the end of the Trojan War. This absence is not merely a physical one. It represents the void left in the family and the kingdom of Ithaca, which has fallen into disarray. The suitors, who have invaded his home, consuming his resources and courting his mother, Penelope, embody the chaos that has ensued in Odysseus's absence. Telemachus's initial portrayal as a passive, melancholic figure, brooding over his father's fate, is crucial in establishing the conflict between the youthful desire for agency and the oppressive reality of his circumstances. The presence of the suitors serves as a stark contrast to Telemachus's character, highlighting the themes of honor and dishonor that permeate the text. These men, who have taken advantage of Odysseus's prolonged absence, are depicted as gluttonous and disrespectful, engaging in games and banquets while disrespecting the household. Their behavior illustrates the moral decay that has afflicted Ithaca in Odysseus's absence, underscoring the epic's exploration of the consequences of neglecting one's responsibilities. The suitors' contempt for Telemachus further emphasizes his isolation and foreshadows his eventual quest for identity and purpose. As he reflects on his father's heroism, Telemachus longs for the strength to reclaim his family's honor, setting the stage for his transformative journey. Homer skillfully weaves the divine into the mortal realm, as the gods convene to discuss Odysseus's fate, thus establishing a rich backdrop of divine intervention that shapes human destiny. The Council of the Gods reveals the interplay between fate and free will, a central theme of the epic. Athena's plea to Zeus on behalf of Odysseus illustrates the compassion of the gods, contrasting with Poseidon's wrath, which stems from personal vendetta. This dichotomy presents a complex portrayal of the divine, emphasizing that while the gods wield considerable power, human agency remains a crucial element in determining one's fate. Athena's decision to visit Telemachus in disguise as Mentes, the chief of the Taphians, signifies the beginning of his journey towards self-discovery and empowerment. The character of Calypso, though introduced later, looms large over the narrative's early developments, representing the seductive allure of forgetfulness and the struggle against stagnation. As Odysseus languishes on her island, his longing for home underscores the theme of nostalgia and the human desire for belonging. Calypso's enchantments symbolize the temptations that can divert individuals from their true paths, further complicating the notion of loyalty and fidelity. This tension between desire and duty resonates throughout the epic, as characters grapple with their commitments and the sacrifices required to fulfill them. The early plot development is marked by Telemachus's awakening, catalyzed by Athena's encouragement to confront the suitors and seek news of his father. Her visit ignites a spark of hope within him, prompting him to summon the Achaeans to an assembly. This pivotal moment signifies the transition from passivity to action, as Telemachus begins to assert his agency in the face of adversity. The assembly serves as a narrative device that not only propels the plot forward, but also illustrates the communal aspect of Greek culture, where collective action is essential in the pursuit of justice and restoration. As Telemachus prepares for his journey to seek information about Odysseus, the narrative tension escalates, establishing a dual quest: the physical journey to find his father and the internal journey towards self-identity and maturity. This duality is emblematic of the epic's broader themes, as characters navigate their paths amid external conflicts and internal struggles. The interplay of fate, divine intervention, and human agency becomes increasingly pronounced, inviting readers to contemplate the complexities of their own journeys. In conclusion, the early sections of the Odyssey lay a rich foundation for the epic's exploration of identity, loyalty, and the human experience. Through the introduction of key characters, the establishment of conflicts, and the interplay of divine forces, Homer crafts a narrative that resonates with timeless relevance. The journey of Telemachus, coupled with the overarching quest of Odysseus, compels readers to reflect on their own paths, the nature of home, and the enduring pursuit of belonging amidst adversity. The stage is set for an epic that delves into the heart of what it means to be human, forging connections that transcend time and space. In the early chapters of the Odyssey, Homer introduces a rich tapestry of characters, settings, and conflicts that not only establish the narrative's trajectory, but also lay the groundwork for profound themes concerning identity, loss, and the quest for belonging. The scene unfolds in Ithaca, where Telemachus, the son of Odysseus, finds himself amidst the chaos wrought by the suitors who have invaded his home. These suitors, drawn by the allure of Penelope's beauty and the promise of her hand in marriage, represent a significant conflict that underscores the challenges Telemachus faces in the absence of his father. They are depicted as the antithesis of Odysseus, indulging in excess and disrespecting the household, which further amplifies Telemachus's internal struggle and longing for paternal guidance. Telemachus's initial characterization is one of melancholy and uncertainty. As he sits moodily among the suitors, his thoughts drift to his father, suggesting a deep-seated yearning for the heroic legacy that Odysseus embodies. This longing is compounded by the suitor's brazen behavior, which serves to highlight Telemachus's feelings of inadequacy. He laments, "If these men were to see my father come back to Ithaca, they would pray for longer legs rather than a longer purse," betraying his awareness of the dishonor that has befallen his family in Odysseus's absence. This sentiment resonates through the text, establishing a foundational conflict between the noble ideals associated with Odysseus and the corrupting influence of the suitors. The arrival of Minerva, disguised as Mentes, provides a pivotal moment in the narrative. Her character embodies divine intervention and wisdom, serving as a catalyst for Telemachus's growth. Minerva's keen observations regarding the suitor's behavior and her inquiry into the state of the household prompt Telemachus to articulate his grievances. This interaction not only marks the beginning of Telemachus's journey towards self-discovery, but also reinforces the theme of mentorship that permeates the epic. Minerva's role as a guiding figure foreshadows the eventual transformation Telemachus will undergo as he steps into his own agency. As they converse, Minerva's encouragement for Telemachus to seek news of his father introduces the central quest that drives the narrative forward. She reassures him of Odysseus's potential for survival, stating, "He is a man of such resource that even though he were in chains of iron, he would find some means of getting home again." This assertion not only instills hope in Telemachus, but also serves to elevate Odysseus's status as a quintessential hero, characterized by resilience and cunning. The contrast between Telemachus's despair and the promise of his father's prowess further deepens the emotional stakes of the story, emphasizing the theme of hope against adversity. The dialogues between Telemachus and Minerva also reveal the intricate dynamics of familial relationships. Telemachus's yearning for his father's presence is palpable when he admits, "It is a wise child that knows his own father." This statement encapsulates the uncertainty that defines his identity in the shadow of Odysseus's legacy. The absence of his father not only leaves a void in Telemachus's life, but also complicates his understanding of manhood and honor. The suitors who embody a distorted version of masculinity serve as a foil to the values that Odysseus represents, thus intensifying Telemachus's internal conflict. Moreover, the suitors, feasting and revelry within Odysseus's home serve as a stark reminder of the moral decay that has taken root in Ithaca. Homer paints a vivid image of their indulgence, with references to playing draughts, mixing wine with water, and laying hands upon the good things that were before them. This depiction not only highlights their gluttony, but also underscores the erosion of respect for the household. The suitor's presence acts as a tangible obstacle to Telemachus's journey, symbolizing the larger societal decay that results from the absence of true leadership. As the narrative progresses, the conflicts introduced in these early chapters set the stage for the broader exploration of themes such as loyalty, perseverance, and the search for identity. Telemachus's encounter with Minerva ignites a spark of determination within him, compelling him to embark on a quest for knowledge about his father. This journey will not only serve as a means of reclaiming his family's honor, but will also catalyze his transformation from a passive youth into a figure of agency and resilience. The narrative's exploration of these themes resonates with readers, inviting them to contemplate the complexities of their own quests for identity and belonging in a world fraught with challenges. Thus, through the interplay of character introductions and the establishment of conflicts, Homer crafts a rich and enduring epic that continues to captivate audiences across generations. In this pivotal section of the Odyssey, Homer intricately weaves together the rising action and deepening character relationships, particularly between Telemachus, his mother Penelope, and the suitors who have invaded their household. The narrative progresses through Telemachus's awakening to his responsibilities, catalyzed by the divine intervention of Minerva, who serves as both a mentor and a guiding force. This moment of revelation is crucial, as it marks a transition from Telemachus's passive acceptance of his situation to a more assertive stance, reflecting a significant theme of growth and maturity. Minerva's encouragement of Telemachus to seek news of his father underscores the epic's exploration of identity and legacy. She advises him to gather the Achaean heroes and confront the suitors, stating, "Take my advice, call the Achaean heroes in assembly tomorrow morning, lay your case before them, and call heaven to bear you witness." This command not only emphasizes the importance of communal support in times of crisis, but also highlights the necessity for Telemachus to assert his place within the lineage of Odysseus. By embarking on this quest, he embodies the epic theme of reconciliation with one's heritage, as he seeks to reclaim his father's legacy and establish his own identity in the process. The relationship between Telemachus and Penelope is further complicated by the tension created by the suitors. Penelope's sorrow is palpable as she hears the bard Phemius sing of the Achaeans' plight, which serves as a constant reminder of Odysseus's absence. Her plea to Phemius to change the song reveals not just her grief, but also a sense of helplessness that permeates the household. Telemachus's response to her, "Go then within the house and busy yourself with your daily duties," though meant to be reassuring, also indicates his struggle to balance respect for his mother's emotional state with his emerging authority as the head of the household. This dynamic illustrates the complexities of familial relationships in the face of adversity, as both characters navigate their grief and the encroaching chaos brought by the suitors. The suitors themselves serve as a foil to Telemachus, embodying the moral decay that arises in the absence of Odysseus. Their actions, feasting in his home and vying for Penelope's hand, highlight their disrespect for the sacredness of hospitality, a central theme in Greek culture. Antinous' mocking of Telemachus, "The gods seem to have given you lessons in bluster and tall talking," reflects the suitors' arrogance and their underestimation of Telemachus's potential. This condescension not only serves to elevate Telemachus's character as he rises to defend his honor, but also foreshadows the eventual downfall of the suitors, who are oblivious to the consequences of their actions. As the narrative unfolds, the rising tension becomes palpable, particularly as Telemachus asserts his intention to call an assembly. His declaration, "If on the other hand you choose to persist in sponging upon one man, heaven help me, but Jove shall reckon with you in full," is a turning point that signifies his transformation from a boy into a man prepared to take control of his destiny. This moment resonates with the theme of justice and retribution, as Telemachus invokes divine support, hinting at the eventual reckoning that awaits the suitors. Moreover, the mention of Orestes and his revenge against Aegisthus serves as a poignant parallel to Telemachus's own potential for vengeance. The reference to Orestes, who killed his father's murderer, acts as a narrative device that not only reinforces the theme of familial duty, but also emphasizes the expectations placed upon young men in a patriarchal society. Telemachus's willingness to consider this path illustrates his internal struggle between his pacifist upbringing and the violent legacy of his father. This section culminates in a rich tapestry of emotional and thematic complexity. As Telemachus prepares to undertake his journey, the reader is reminded of the interconnectedness of personal identity, familial relationships, and societal expectations. The absence of Odysseus looms large, but through Telemachus's awakening, Homer suggests that the journey toward self-discovery and the reclamation of legacy is a universal quest, one that transcends the boundaries of time and culture. The interplay of divine influence, personal resolve, and the consequences of human actions creates a profound narrative that continues to resonate with readers, inviting them to reflect on their own quests for identity and belonging in a world rife with challenges. As the narrative unfolds, the relationships among characters deepen, revealing the complex social fabric of Ithaca and the emotional struggles of its inhabitants. The interactions between Telemachus and the suitors, especially Antinous, highlight the tension between power and impotence that Telemachus grapples with throughout the story. The suitors, who have taken over his home and disrespected his family, represent a usurpation of authority that leaves Telemachus feeling vulnerable and isolated. This power dynamic is poignantly captured in Telemachus's speech, where he laments the loss of his father, Ulysses, and the consequent decline of his household. He states, "I cannot hold my own against them," signaling his recognition of his current inadequacy and the weight of expectation placed upon him as the heir to Ulysses. Telemachus's emotional struggle is further compounded by the suitors' dismissive attitudes. Antinous' retort, accusing Telemachus of insolence and blaming his mother for their plight, underscores the disarray in Ithaca. Antinous' attack not only serves to belittle Telemachus, but also to perpetuate the patriarchal norms that govern their society, wherein a woman's actions can catalyze the misfortunes of men. The suitors' collective dismissal of Telemachus's grievances illustrates the broader theme of respect and honor, a recurring motif in the Odyssey. The suitors' lack of respect for Telemachus and their indulgent behavior in his father's home represent a degradation of social values, further emphasizing the chaos that has ensued in Ulysses' absence. Moreover, the character of Penelope, although not present in this assembly, looms large over the proceedings. The suitors' reference to her cunning, specifically her ruse of weaving and unweaving a shroud, highlights her intelligence and resourcefulness. Yet, it also serves to portray her as a victim of circumstance, trapped in a web of her own making, unable to move forward without the return of her husband. This duality of strength and vulnerability reflects the complexities of female agency within the narrative and invites readers to consider the societal constraints placed upon women in ancient Greece. As the rising action progresses, Telemachus's determination to seek his father becomes increasingly resolute. The assembly serves as a pivotal moment for him, transforming his passive suffering into a quest for action. His decision to embark on a journey to Pylos and Sparta, inspired by the goddess Minerva, signifies a critical turning point in his character development. The presence of divine intervention, as seen in Minerva's role, underscores the theme of fate versus free will. Telemachus is guided by the gods, yet it is his own burgeoning agency that propels him forward. The contrast between the divine and the mortal highlights the complexities of human experience. While the gods may influence events, it is the characters' choices that ultimately define their destinies. The emotional weight of Telemachus's journey is further underscored by the symbolism of his departure from Ithaca. Leaving behind the familiar confines of his home signifies not only a physical journey, but also a metaphorical one towards self-discovery and maturity. As he prepares to set sail, the narrative emphasizes his transformation from a passive boy into an active seeker of his own identity. This development echoes the broader theme of coming of age that resonates throughout the epic, as both Telemachus and Ulysses grapple with their identities in a world shaped by loss and longing. Additionally, the relationship between Telemachus and Euryclea, the nurse, adds depth to the narrative. Her affection for him, rooted in their shared past, symbolizes the enduring bonds of loyalty and care that exist even amidst chaos. This relationship serves as a reminder of the importance of familial ties and the emotional undercurrents that shape the character's motivations. Euryclea's role as a caretaker juxtaposes the suitor's predatory behavior, reinforcing the theme of loyalty versus betrayal. In sum, the rising action of the Odyssey intricately weaves together character relationships, social dynamics, and thematic development. Telemachus's journey, catalyzed by the suitor's disrespect and Minerva's guidance, propels him towards self-realization and agency. The interplay of divine influence, personal resolve, and the consequences of human actions creates a rich tapestry of narrative that resonates with the complexities of identity, belonging, and the quest for honor. As the story unfolds, readers are invited to reflect on their own journeys and the relationships that shape their lives, reinforcing the timeless relevance of Homer's epic. In the unfolding of the Odyssey, plot complications intensify as Telemachus grapples with the suitor's relentless pressure and his mother's cunning strategy to delay remarriage. The narrative's tension escalates through the interplay of human agency and divine influence, as characters confront dilemmas that reflect broader themes of loyalty, identity, and the consequences of one's choices. The suitors, emboldened by their numbers and the absence of Odysseus, have taken over Telemachus's household, consuming his family's wealth while undermining his authority. The vivid description of Penelope's deceitful weaving, a metaphor for her cleverness and resilience, serves as a poignant reflection of her struggle against societal expectations. By weaving and unweaving the shroud for Laertes, she not only preserves her autonomy but also embodies the theme of cleverness over brute force, a central motif in the epic. The suitor's impatience with her ruse highlights their arrogance and entitlement, as they demand that she choose a husband, effectively disregarding her agency as a widow. Telemachus's character transformation is significant as he transitions from a passive youth into a figure of agency. His confrontation with the suitors marks a turning point in his development. Initially overwhelmed by their demands, Telemachus asserts himself, declaring, "If you choose to take offense at this, leave the house and feast elsewhere at one another's houses at your own cost." Homer. This declaration signifies his emerging identity as a leader, willing to defend his family's honor against the intruders. The mounting tensions are palpable as the suitors respond with defiance, revealing their disregard for the established social order. Eurymachus's scornful retort to Halitherses, the seer, serves to dismiss the prophetic warnings and further emphasizes the theme of hubris that pervades the suitor's conduct. The arrival of omens, particularly the two eagles sent by Zeus, foreshadows the impending doom that awaits the suitors. Halitherses' interpretation of these signs reveals a deep connection between the divine and human realms, suggesting that the gods are not indifferent to the struggles of mortals. His prophecy that Odysseus will return and exact vengeance serves to heighten the suspense, as readers are acutely aware of the tension between fate and free will. The suitors' dismissal of Halitherses' warnings underscores their arrogance and foreshadows their tragic downfall, illustrating how ignorance of the divine signals often leads to dire consequences. The interplay between Telemachus and the suitors highlights the complexities of loyalty and honor within familial relationships. Telemachus's reluctance to send his mother away, despite the pressure from the suitors, reveals his deep-seated loyalty to Penelope and his father's legacy. He articulates the moral stakes involved, stating, "It will be hard on me if I have to pay Acharius the large sum which I must give him if I insist on sending his daughter back to him." Homer. This sense of duty complicates his burgeoning identity as he seeks to balance personal loyalty with the expectations of his society. As the narrative progresses, Telemachus's quest for information about his father becomes a pivotal subplot that underscores his transformation. His decision to embark on a journey to Pylos and Sparta in search of Odysseus signifies his departure from the confines of Ithaca, both physically and metaphorically. This journey symbolizes his quest for identity, as he seeks to understand his lineage and reclaim his place within the social order disrupted by the suitors. The act of seeking knowledge about his father is emblematic of the broader theme of discovery that permeates the Odyssey, as characters navigate the complexities of their identities amidst chaos. Moreover, the suitors' characterization as gluttonous and disrespectful not only serves to heighten the tension, but also invites readers to reflect on the moral implications of their actions. Their refusal to heed warnings and their continued harassment of Telemachus create a palpable sense of impending conflict. The audience's awareness of Odysseus's eventual return imbues the narrative with a sense of dramatic irony, as the suitors remain oblivious to the consequences of their hubris. In conclusion, the mounting tensions and character transformations in this segment of the Odyssey reveal the intricate interplay between human agency and divine intervention. Telemachus emerges as a figure of resilience and determination, navigating the complexities of loyalty and identity against the backdrop of external pressures. Through the cunning of Penelope, the arrogance of the suitors, and the prophetic warnings of Halitherses, Homer crafts a narrative that resonates with timeless themes of honor and the enduring quest for self-discovery, inviting readers to reflect on their own journeys amid the trials of life. In the unfolding narrative of the Odyssey, Homer intricately weaves plot complications that serve to enhance the thematic depth of the text, particularly through the character transformations of Telemachus and the mounting tensions surrounding the suitors. The interplay between these elements creates a rich tapestry that underscores the broader themes of identity, legacy, and the quest for agency in a world beset by chaos. Telemachus's journey of self-discovery is catalyzed by the external pressures exerted by the suitors and his own internal struggles. Initially depicted as a passive figure, overshadowed by the legacy of his father, Telemachus undergoes a significant transformation spurred by the divine intervention of Athena, who appears to him as mentor. She instills in him the courage to confront his fears and the suitors who have invaded his household. This transformation is not merely a shift in attitude, it is emblematic of a broader rite of passage where Telemachus begins to assume his role as the rightful heir to Odysseus's legacy. Athena's encouragement encapsulates this shift. If you are made of the same stuff as your father, you will be neither fool nor coward henceforward. Homer, Book 2. This moment not only serves to elevate Telemachus's character, but also highlights the theme of paternal influence, suggesting that identity is forged through both lineage and personal agency. The suitors, in stark contrast to Telemachus, embody arrogance and entitlement, showcasing the corrosive effects of unchecked power. Their disdain for Telemachus is palpable, as they mock his aspirations and threaten his safety, underscoring their belief in their own invulnerability. One suitor derisively notes, "Perhaps if Telemachus goes on board ship, he will be like his father and perish far from his friends." Homer, Book 2. This commentary not only reveals their contempt, but also foreshadows the eventual reckoning that awaits them. The suitors' mockery serves to heighten the tension within the narrative, as their hubris blinds them to the consequences of their actions, both for themselves and for the household of Odysseus. As Telemachus prepares to embark on his journey, the mounting tension is palpable. His clandestine preparations, including gathering provisions from the storeroom, signify his resolve to reclaim his agency and assert his identity. The act of taking control of his father's resources symbolizes a reclamation of power that had been usurped by the suitors. This moment is pivotal. It marks a turning point where Telemachus transitions from a state of passive suffering to one of active resistance. His determination to seek news of Odysseus reflects a profound yearning for connection with his father and a desire to restore order to his disrupted life. The emotional weight of this decision is underscored by his interaction with Euryclea, the nurse, who embodies the familial ties that Telemachus is both embracing and leaving behind. Her pleas for him to reconsider his journey highlight the stakes involved, not just for him, but for the household at large. Moreover, the narrative intricately intertwines the theme of fate with the characters' choices, as Telemachus's journey is both a personal quest and a response to the external chaos instigated by the suitors. His resolve to confront the unknown reflects a critical thematic concern in the Odyssey, the tension between fate and free will. Telemachus's decision to seek out his father is not merely a search for information. It is an assertion of his independence and a challenge to the fate that seems to dictate his life. The gods' involvement, particularly that of Athena, indicates that while fate plays a significant role, individuals are still endowed with the capacity to shape their destinies through courage and action. In this context, the character of Telemachus serves as a foil to the suitors, who remain entrenched in their arrogance and denial of responsibility. The suitors' failure to recognize the impending consequences of their actions adds a layer of dramatic irony to the narrative, as readers are acutely aware of the doom that awaits them. Their dismissive attitude towards Telemachus's ambitions not only illustrates their moral bankruptcy, but also amplifies the tension leading up to the inevitable confrontation between them and Odysseus upon his return. Ultimately, the plot complications, character transformations, and mounting tensions in this segment of the Odyssey coalesce to create a narrative rich in thematic resonance. Through Telemachus's journey of self-discovery and the hubris of the suitors, Homer crafts a compelling exploration of identity, agency, and the quest for honor in the face of adversity. This intricate interplay invites readers to reflect on their own paths, the legacies they inherit, and the choices they make in the pursuit of their destinies. Telemachus's journey in the Odyssey serves as a crucial turning point, propelling him from a state of passive uncertainty towards an assertion of agency and the quest for identity. As he prepares to embark on his voyage to seek news of his father, Odysseus, we witness a significant transition from the chaotic domestic sphere dominated by the suitors to the broader, unpredictable world of the sea. This voyage not only symbolizes his physical departure from Ithaca, but also marks an essential rite of passage, emphasizing the themes of growth, self-discovery, and the search for paternal legacy. In the initial stages of his journey, Telemachus displays a mixture of trepidation and determination. The counsel of his nurse and the divine intervention of Minerva illustrate the duality of human agency and divine influence, a recurring theme throughout the epic. Telemachus's resolve to seek out his father, despite his fears, underscores a burgeoning sense of responsibility and maturity. His conversation with the nurse reveals his desire to shield his mother from grief, showcasing his evolving character as he begins to embrace the role of a leader in his family's narrative. The oath he extracts from her not to inform Penelope of his departure signifies his first act of autonomy, marking a departure from the boyish dependence that has characterized his existence thus far. As Telemachus and his crew set sail, the imagery of the ship cutting through the waves encapsulates the themes of adventure and the unknown. The ship, a vessel of transformation, represents not only a means of travel but also a symbol of Telemachus's quest for identity and honor. The act of hoisting the sails and feeling the wind fill them serves as a metaphor for his burgeoning self-reliance. The invocation of the gods, particularly the gray-eyed daughter of Jove, emphasizes the interplay between fate and free will, suggesting that while Telemachus is guided by divine forces, he must also take initiative in shaping his own destiny. Upon reaching Pylos, the encounter with Nestor marks a pivotal moment in Telemachus's journey. Nestor, a figure of wisdom and experience, embodies the values of loyalty and honor that are central to the heroic code. His welcoming demeanor and willingness to assist Telemachus provide the young man with a sense of hope and affirmation. It is here that the narrative crystallizes around the theme of the quest for knowledge and understanding of one's ancestry. Telemachus's inquiry into the fate of Odysseus reflects not only his desire for closure, but also a yearning for connection to a lineage that has been overshadowed by uncertainty. Nestor's recounting of the events following the Trojan War serves as a narrative device that bridges past and present, linking the experiences of the heroes of yore with Telemachus's current plight. The elder's reflections on the fates of other warriors, juxtaposed with the silence surrounding Odysseus, heighten the tension surrounding the protagonist's quest. This moment of revelation underscores the fragility of human life and the unpredictable nature of fate, themes that resonate deeply within the epic. As Nestor speaks, the audience is reminded of the tragic consequences of war and the enduring legacies of its heroes, compelling Telemachus to confront the weight of his father's absence. The hospitality extended to Telemachus and his crew also highlights the importance of xenia, or guest friendship, a critical cultural value in ancient Greek society. This notion not only reinforces the bonds between characters, but also serves to elevate Telemachus' status as he embarks on his quest. The shared meal, a symbol of unity and respect, further emphasizes the communal aspects of the journey, suggesting that the search for identity is not merely an individual endeavor, but one steeped in relational dynamics. Moreover, the dialogue between Telemachus and Nestor serves as a microcosm of the broader themes of knowledge and truth within the Odyssey. Telemachus's initial hesitance to engage in conversation reflects the self-doubt that has plagued him throughout his life. However, with Minerva's encouragement, he finds his voice, illustrating the transformative power of mentorship and guidance. In this exchange, the epic crystallizes its exploration of the hero's journey, depicting the movement from ignorance to enlightenment. As the narrative unfolds, the seeds of Telemachus's growth are sown, paving the way for his eventual confrontation with the suitors and the reclamation of his father's legacy. The revelations he gains from Nestor not only provide him with information about Odysseus, but also serve as a catalyst for his own development. The journey, both literal and metaphorical, becomes a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity, reinforcing the timeless themes of identity, agency, and the quest for honor that permeate Homer's epic. Thus, as the climax approaches, the interplay of fate, divine intervention, and personal choice coalesces into a narrative that invites readers to reflect on their own journeys of self-discovery and the legacies they choose to uphold. In the resolution of the Odyssey, the narrative reaches a poignant conclusion as Odysseus finally returns to Ithaca after a prolonged journey filled with trials, tribulations, and transformative experiences. The climactic reunion with his faithful wife, Penelope, symbolizes not only the restoration of order in his household, but also the reaffirmation of identity for both characters. Penelope's cleverness and steadfastness throughout the years reflect her own agency, showcasing the theme of loyalty that runs parallel to Odysseus's quest for honor. As the epic concludes with the slaying of the suitors and the eventual reconciliation with his father, Laertes, Homer emphasizes the cyclical nature of life, where personal journeys intertwine with familial bonds and societal expectations. Odysseus emerges from his long odyssey not merely as a warrior, but as a multifaceted hero, embodying the complexities of human experience. His character arc illustrates the evolution from a man defined by martial prowess to one who embodies wisdom, patience, and emotional depth. By the end of the narrative, he has reconciled his past actions with the lessons learned during his travels, demonstrating a balance of strength and vulnerability. Penelope, too, is portrayed with depth. Her intelligence and resilience in the face of uncertainty and temptation highlight her as a pivotal character in her own right. Together, they represent the ideal of partnership, reinforcing the notion that identity and agency are not solely individual pursuits, but also shaped by relationships. Thematic synthesis in the Odyssey reveals a rich tapestry of interconnected ideas. The exploration of identity is not limited to Odysseus alone. It extends to the various characters he encounters, each representing different facets of human nature and societal roles. The journey itself serves as a metaphor for self-discovery, with each challenge revealing deeper truths about loyalty, love, and the human condition. The tension between fate and free will is a prevailing theme, as characters grapple with their destinies while striving to assert their agency. Ultimately, the epic suggests that while fate may guide individuals, it is personal choices and relationships that define their legacies. Critically evaluating the Odyssey, one finds both strengths and weaknesses within its narrative structure and character development. On one hand, Homer's use of intricate storytelling, rich imagery, and profound characterizations contributes to the epic's enduring appeal. The poem's rhythmic quality and use of oral tradition techniques serve to enhance its accessibility and memorability. However, some modern readers may find the treatment of women and the glorification of violence problematic, as characters such as Penelope and Circe are often framed within the context of male desires and heroic exploits. This duality prompts a critical examination of the societal values reflected in the text, offering a nuanced view of its strengths and limitations. The literary significance of the Odyssey extends far beyond its historical context. It has influenced countless works across cultures and eras. Its themes of adventure, identity, and the quest for belonging resonate universally, allowing it to remain relevant in contemporary discourse. The archetypes established in this epic, such as the hero's journey, the cunning strategist, and the faithful partner, continue to permeate modern storytelling, illustrating the narrative's lasting impact on literature and popular culture. Furthermore, the Odyssey serves as a foundational text in the study of Western literature, offering insights into the human experience that transcend time and space. The endurance of the Odyssey can be attributed to its exploration of timeless themes that resonate across generations. Readers are drawn to the complexities of Odysseus's character and the moral dilemmas faced throughout his journey. The epic invites reflection on the nature of heroism, the importance of home, and the significance of personal growth through adversity. Additionally, the interplay of human agency and divine influence encourages readers to contemplate their own roles in shaping their destinies. In a world that continues to grapple with similar questions of identity, belonging, and the consequences of choice, the Odyssey remains a vital narrative that speaks to the heart of the human experience. In conclusion, the Odyssey stands as a monumental work that captures the essence of the human spirit's quest for meaning and understanding. Through its intricate storytelling, profound character development, and exploration of enduring themes, it invites readers to engage in their own odysseys of self-discovery. As an epic that bridges the past with the present, it continues to inspire and challenge, ensuring its place in the pantheon of literary greatness for generations to come.